welcome to my studio. I am Celina, I am an artist in Denmark, and I am very much looking forward to showing you around in my studio here. Excited to show you around in my art studio today. I live in Denmark, so right now we are in Aarhus, the city of Aarhus, and we are on the 4th floor. So this is where I live. This is my apartment and my art studio. I have kind of taken over the living room and made it into an art studio, and luckily my boyfriend is very okay with that. But just to show you around like in general, and then we can go in detail after that. This is the front door over there. This is the bathroom. This is obviously where I paint. Then we have a little balcony out here where I grow some herbs in the summer, but right now it's winter, so yeah. Over here is our kitchen. And as you can see, I have a lot of plants, and this is not going to be a plant tour. I promised someone that I would introduce you to some of them, but if you really want to see a more in-depth plant tour, then please let me know. And I will also take you in here. This is both our bedroom and our office. Okay, so let's start with this space over here. It's my easel where I paint, and it was built from my parents' old fence. Most of the things that I have here in my studio are second-hand stuff or stuff that I found on the street, like this chair I found on the street, and also this trolley cart, I think, small table. And I keep my paintings stored like this to prevent them from getting dust, and I just turned this one around so you can see what I am working on at the moment. But over here is where I keep most of my paint. My palette, and then I have some palette knives over here, and a scissor. These are some of my more like special brushes, and also these ones are really good. I use them a lot. They are made from silicone. I think maybe you call them silicone nips, or I don't know. And then I have some different jars here. This one has some linseed oil, and this one has some paint thinner. I have my small brushes over here, and in here I have some walnut oil, and this also it's some paint thinner. And over here I have the rest of my brushes. Inside of this one, this is where I keep my oil paint. So these are all of my tubes of oil paint, and my glass scraper that I use to clean my palette. This I highly recommend if you are using a glass palette to have a glass scraper. It's much more easy to clean your palette then. And then I have some sponges and a little bit of charcoal, and over here I have some ink, and these ones are really fun, I think. They are called oil sticks, so it's basically like oil paint, but they come in like a stick form, so that's really fun. They can make this kind of mark, and they work kind of like oil pastels, but oil pastels, they never dry fully, but these ones they do. And you can also just like take a piece of them with a palette knife and put it on your palette and use it like regular oil paint. And maybe you are also interested in seeing some of the brands of oil paint that I use. And I should say that I have a goal of making in the future only making my own oil paint from pigments that I buy either from Natural Earth Paint or Natural Pigments, or maybe find in the nature. So, and I don't really have any preference for companies, but a lot of times I am asked what I use, and I have some. This one is from Old Holland, and I have a couple of ones from Gamblin, Schminke also. I think maybe I prefer Schminke and Gamblin, Sennelier. Yeah, but as I said, I don't really have any particular brands that I prefer. Down here we have a lot of different things. Some Q-tips and some China markers. I think this is China markers. And these ones I also use a lot to make different marks in my paintings. And let's see, we have some fluid acrylic over here from Golden. And this is some alcohol that I sometimes spray on my paint. And gesso and mirror that I use to look at my paintings to correct my proportions. Then I have some walnut oil over there, and this is some oil, or linseed oil. I think, yeah, I think you call it linseed oil in English, but in Denmark we call it oil. Anyways, I prefer the walnut oil because it will not yellow over time, but linseed oil will. And then I have this one. I am planning to put my walnut oil in this one because this one is really hard to pour from, and this is pretty. So I have some varnish. I want to introduce you to my favorite oil paint and oil like medium company. It's Natural Earth Paints. They are an American company, but they also have some stores in Europe and Australia, and I don't know how many places, maybe also Canada, but they are really good. They are completely natural and toxic free, and that's something that I care a lot about. This is their varnish, and it's really good. It smells kind of like citrus. And yeah, I really prefer using their stuff. I haven't bought any of their paint yet because it's only the pigments you can buy, and then you have to combine them with the oil yourself. And I don't have the equipment yet for that, but that's something that I really want to do sometime. And this one is their paint thinner. It's made from soybeans, I believe. And it's also really good. When I make my oil paintings, I only mix my oil with EcoSolve, which is the thinner, and then walnut oil. So those are the only products that I use in my paintings. I used to also use liquid from Winsor Newton, but it really got me headaches, and yeah, it's not very healthy. They use petroleum distillates, and it's very toxic, so I don't like using that anymore. And then this is some sludge jars that I am just working right now. Yeah, and moving on down here, we have some acrylic. This is all my acrylic things. These are some acrylic tubes and some smaller tubes. This is just acrylic scraps and some different things to put in the acrylic paint. I have some crackle paste and gloss medium and matte medium. I don't use it a lot. I actually don't use acrylic a lot. Sometimes for the beginning of the paintings, but I much prefer oil paint. And these are just my different colors. I have collected them throughout many years, so I have quite a lot. And I used to only paint with acrylics, but I don't anymore. We have some more paintings that I'm storing. I already finished that one, and then those over there are some empty canvases that I haven't painted yet. And this trash can, which I also found on the street. I used to store all of my dirty rags for when I have painted. And when you paint with oil, it's very important that you put your rags in a safe container with a lid, because it can combust because of the oil. So you wouldn't want that. And then I have this little basket over here, which I also found on the street. And I have my painting overalls in here and an old shirt, my dad's old working shirt that I also use when I paint, so I can protect my clothes. This is an old t-shirt that I used to chop up and use as rags. And this is also another rag. I really like my little whining plant over here. I think it's some kind of a Scindapsus. And then I have another one over here. And sometimes I've also gotten some questions about this one, what I use this for. It's an old ruler, but it doesn't have any numbers on it. I got it from my grandfather, and I use it like this to make straight angles if I need to get a very straight angle. I put it on my canvas, and then this is completely straight. Yeah, that's how I use that. And then I have some more paintings that I have finished over here, and some plants. This one is aloe vera. Aloe vera is one of my favorite plants, so I have a lot of them, but this one is the prettiest one. And rubber tree, I also love those. And this one is new. I don't really remember the name of it, but I think it's a philodendron. And some more aloe vera. And over here I am trying to grow some passion flower. And in this corner I have a couple of different things. I use those sticks to rest my hand on when I paint sometimes, if I need to do something very detailed. And then I have this painting that I finished. It was a present for my boyfriend. It's the two of us walking on the beach, and I thought it was really cute. And in this box I have some tape for packing when I ship some paintings. And over there I have some tools that I use for lino cut, but I'm very new to that, so yeah. I have a spare palette over here, and I have some paper down here, and also the rest of my sludge jars and some fixative. Over here I have some more plants. I really love this corner, and I also store my favorite books down here. So the first one over here, this is my boyfriend's books. He really likes old things. He studied history at university, so it's a lot of old books. And over here are my books. I'm gonna show you some of my favorite books, because I really love it when other people do that in their videos. Just a couple of them. this one is my most favorite. It's called Homage to Humanity. It's by Jimmy Nielsen, and it's just beautiful. It's huge. It's absolutely humongous. But he's a photographer, and he travels around the world and photographs different cultures, and it's just, his photography is just amazing. It's so beautiful. So I highly recommend that you check him out. Yeah, it's I love to look through these books when I want some inspiration for my paintings. It's just so beautiful. So I have a couple of books from photographers, and then I have some books about plants. And this one is one of my favorite artists. Her name is Stephanie Ledoux, and this book is actually in French, and I don't speak French, but I just love her art so much that I had to buy it anyway. But her art is also very beautiful. She also travels around the world, and she draws and paints the people that she meets. It's so pretty. So I also really like to look in that one for inspiration. And this is also a photography book. This was a gift. I was not familiar with this photographer's work before I got this book, but I think it's very beautiful as well. And yeah, I'm very inspired by anthropology, so I love having books like this. And this one is my newest book. It's from Kinfolk, about gardening and people living with plants. And it also has some very beautiful photography in it. So I also highly recommend that one. And then I just have some more plant books, and I also am very inspired by the Japanese philosophy about wabi-sabi. So you can look that up as well. I think it's really cool. And these are our, what do you call them in English? Is it records or LPs? We call them LPs, but yeah, we have a lot of LPs, and they're mostly my boyfriend's. We like listening to very old music. These ones are actually our favorite ones. We have Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Gary Moore, Eric Clapton, Toto. I really love that one. But my favorite is Billie Holiday. I don't know where it is right now, but I listen to that the most. And also Leonard Cohen. I really like that one. And then we have some more plants over here. This one is also one of my favorite plants. Over in this corner we have the stair for upstairs. And then we have some more books. This is actually a bunch of different books. This is both travel books, some science fiction that my boyfriend has, and different literature. I think this was all for this area over here. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. But yeah, and then we have this couch. We didn't want to get rid of our couch when I moved the studio in here, and we also just bought this secondhand, so it was really cheap, and I think it's very nice. It's kind of cozy, I think. And now I just also want to show you the office space. And this is also a part of my studio actually, but over there is just my boyfriend's little desk, so we don't want to get into that. In here, as you can see, it's just a jumble of different things. We have a bookshelf, and then our bed is over here, and we put it on these drawers. So our clothes is down here and our bed is up here. It's very tall, so I kind of need to have this chair to get up into the bed. But it's a really handy little trick, so we can save some room. And then our big map, I really love that. Over here, this is my desk, and my dad made this desk. He's really handy, so I'm very grateful for that. This is my little easel, and this is a lino cut that I've made. But yeah, I haven't made it into prints yet, but this is just a cut. Then I have some little brushes over here, and I have another book. This is my wildcrafting book about different plants in Denmark, in the area where I live. Here I have a print from my friend. Her name is, I think I will pop her Instagram name on the screen right now, because I really think you should check her out. She mainly does some lino prints, and then a little postcard from the artist Ruth Spear. You can see her name here. You should really check her out on Instagram as well. I think she's very popular and I love her art. And I have some notebooks. This one, this is a box that I made in school. And I store some of my pencils in there. This is another pencil case that I have. And I bought this pencil case in Nepal. And it just has some like regular different pencils. I don't use them a lot. This is just this is actually the only colored pencils that I have, and then some normal pencils and a small eraser, another eraser. So it's not that interesting, but maybe you wanted to see what I have. Anyways, then I have this little jar that I use for when I sharpen my pencils. And this is just a little box of some watercolors. I also have some other watercolors, but these ones are my favorite. They are from Schminke, and I really like that brand for watercolors. Yeah. And this is some powdered charcoal and some essential oils, eucalyptus and tea tree. I really like those. And this box is my knife for lino cut. And over here we have bay leaf plants and another rubber plant. I have some little lanterns that I bought in Morocco. These are some bundles of herbs. This is rosemary and this is common sage that I grew these on my balcony and I had too much, so I made some bundles that I sometimes burn. Another aloe vera, which I love. I think this is so beautiful. And actually all of these plants that I have here in my office, they have been infested by thrips, and I had to isolate them in this room away from all of the other plants. And this is actually not all of those who were infested, but some of them sadly died. And I'm very sad about that. But yeah, learning all the time. So this is my computer. This is a Mac. I use a Mac, and I really love all of the stickers that I have on here. Yeah, this is both some of my own art, like these ones, and over here I also made this one. This is my favorite actually, and some other different stickers that I got, and my teapots. I love tea. I drink it all the time. And I have a diffuser over here that I actually won in a Instagram competition, so that was really cool. And this plant I think is called Philodendron ruby. Then I just have a normal lamp from IKEA. I don't like buying new things, especially from IKEA, but I think this was a gift. It's an old lamp anyway. And then I have this pretty little decoration thing that my sweet friend, she made for me. She is so good. And over here I have some paper that I use for collage. This is just some papers, different things that I bought from Etsy, and this is watercolor paper and my watercolor palette. I really recommend that you buy a ceramic or glass palette for your watercolors instead of plastic. It's so much easier to clean afterwards. And over here I have some tools and some more ink. Down here I think I will take this drawer out and show you what's inside. These are also some of my art supplies. This one is watercolors from Winsor & Newton. So these are all the watercolors that I have. And I prefer Schminke, definitely, but these ones are also fine. And they are very old. Then I have some oil pastels. I really think it's super fun to play with oil pastels. And I love this brand. I think many people do. They are from, I think it's from Schminke. No, it's from Sennelier. Yeah, sorry. I really love those. And then I have this one. What do you call this? It's for making circles. And some more oil pastels. And this is also oil pastels, but not in a very good quality. They're okay, they're fine. This is some graphite powder. If you really like to make very smooth and detailed graphite drawings, then I highly recommend that you get some graphite powder. I've used this a lot when I used to draw very detailed and realistic drawings. So it makes very smooth drawings, I think. So definitely recommend that one. And this is sometimes I do macrame, as you have seen in the other, yeah, you can also see it here actually. I make these macrame plant hangers. So I use these to make like a hook for them. And these are just some stamps. Then all of this is charcoal. And these are some needles. This was a needle case from my great-grandmother. And I just think it's really pretty. Then I have, this is my only tube of gouache. I haven't used it, like, I almost haven't used it. I had this idea that I wanted to start gouache, and then I bought this one, and I haven't painted any gouache. So, yeah, maybe it's because I don't have any other colors. And the last thing that I want to show you is actually upstairs. It's where I keep all of my paintings. So this is my little attic space. As you can see, it's super cute. I really love it up here. It's very cozy, and I have a great view over my studio. This is also where we have a TV. We don't use it a lot. And then I have a painting over here. But I want to show you where I store my paintings. So we just have to get rid of this one to get inside. And woo! And we have so much space in here. This is really great. In these drawers I have some old artwork. Maybe I should give you a tour sometime. Let me know if you would like that. And down here I have some prints. And up here I have some more prints. These are my limited edition prints, and they are just gorgeous. I love them so much. It's one of my favorite paintings, so I wanted to do something special with it. And over here I have some large paintings and some small paintings and some medium paintings. All of the paintings. Yeah, I have a lot, so much. And all of this over here is different materials for shipping, and I save most of the boxes that I get so I can use them for shipping. And these are also some different materials that I have saved so I can use them or reuse them. But yeah, it's kind of a mess, and yeah, that's just how it is. And I also just want to mention that I'm very, very grateful to have this beautiful studio right now. But I have never had this much space to paint in before, and I have never had such a beautiful space to paint in before. I have moved a lot, and I have had a lot of different painting setups. And like everyone else, I started painting in the kitchen. So you definitely do not have to have this much space and such a pretty curated space to start painting. If it's something that you really like to do, you can do it anywhere. So I just wanted to mention that for you, because I sometimes feel like it can be a little discouraging to see how beautiful everyone else is living, and I have wanted to have this for a long time, and now I'm so grateful that I have, but it's not something that you need to have in order to create beautiful art. And also, you guys, please remember that this studio space was not expensive at all. Of course, I had to sacrifice my living room, so we still have our couch and our TV is upstairs, but that's really the biggest kind of expense I had, if you can say that. But as I said, everything in here I found on the street or bought secondhand, and all the plants I've collected over many years. So it's never too late to start your plant collection, you guys. Okay, so this is the end of the tour. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing my studio. I know that I really love to see other people's painting space, so I think it was really fun to make this, and I hope that you will stick around. You are very welcome to subscribe and maybe come say hi on Instagram. All of my information and links will be down below. And yeah, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. I really, really appreciate it. And have a wonderful day.